um, I would like to tell you something about what my definition is of shadow. Right?
Mm-hmm.
My definition of shadow is not only that animal side. Okay, that's part of the side, but the shadow is for me linked with the unseen child in me. Okay, so it's a really vulnerable side. It's all the feelings linked with being overwhelmed, not being able to process, not being able to understand,
Mm.
being hurt, and not knowing what to do. Okay, that's the shadow. All those feelings, and there is no way I can contain myself. I can understand, and so I push them all away, and then I create a mask. And sometimes the mask is really animal-like,
Mm.
like, okay, I will kill everybody before they can kill me. So that is my way of protecting that I won't get hurt. So
Mm.
it's protection. Like violence is a way to protect yourself. Okay, I would tell them it's your child is not protected because violence you will at a certain point you will end up in jail and then
Yeah.
and then what with the child, so it isn't effective.
Mhm.
You could say it isn't smart, but that animal side is a mask in violence. It's a
Yeah.
mask. Like we have another type of mask. We don't have that. We have like we are good guys, like, oh, we just, oh, I love everybody. We love that's the mask of spiritual people, like,
Mm.
oh my God, so that is another way, and that is like in a way survival also, because what do we want with that mask? Yeah, we want attention and we want to be seen as good people.
Mm.
So in a way it's survival also. So it's kind of, but for me really the shadow is that child, the boy that was never seen,
Yeah.
and that I can't see him really, and he has he can't show himself.
Mm.
He doesn't have words.
Mm.
He can't bring himself in the world, but he influences my thinking,
Yeah.
my emotions, my protection. And
Yes.
then the mask is always the protection. It's
Mm.
always the protection for the little boy who isn't seen, but it isn't an efficient protection. It's like
Yeah.
a protection for the first part of life.
Yeah.
And then the mask becomes the problem,
Mm.
because the mask never is really in contact with the world. There is
Mm-hmm.
no good contact. Inclusive, if you are like a good person, well, you're not in contact with reality, because reality of the world is survival. And if you are a bad person, you're not in contact with reality either. Like because you will end up paying the price.
Yeah. Mm.
So the challenge, I think, it's all the integration is the little boy who never has been seen,
Yeah.
the feelings that are there, and then to link them with the mask, because the mask will never disappear. I'm
Never
I'm
disappear.
I'm I'm beyond illusions that we humans we can really change.
Wow.
So I have to stay with my mask, and I have to stay with my little boy who's never seen, and they will be with me until the moment I die.
Mm.
The only thing I can do is that I can bring them into contact with each other. Like our mind is a split
Mm-hmm.
between the mask and the boy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm or my mask or the boy, because sometimes I feel desperate and anxious and so it's like one or the other, but never both at the same time.
Yeah.
And so
Mm.
the only thing we can do is that they learn to collaborate, to coexist, to integrate. And that is then sort of a balanced unity that gives a little bit of hope, or a little bit of contact, you could say. I think contact is only possible out of that balanced state.
Yeah.
The mask is out of contact, and the boy in himself is out of contact as well.
Mm. Mm.
And so the only real contact that can happen is in the integration, in the point where they both meet. But most of people are so afraid of their own boy, of
Yeah.
their own, of the feelings, of it isn't going anywhere. It's like, so they're so afraid, so they want the mask. and they don't realize that nobody's waiting for the mask. You know, like I have another mask than my animal side. I have a sort of an enthusiastic, I arrange it mask. You know, like count on me, I will do it.
Yeah.
But I tire everybody with that mask. You know, nobody's waiting for that guy. I'm waiting. I think I'm safe with that. But in a way, a lot of women have like, I sacrifice myself for my children. And, you know, like that's, see, I sacrifice. And they can't realize that no child is waiting for a mom who's sacrificing himself. It's a burden. But they're totally out of contact with that reality. It's out of, I sacrifice. And then, of course, okay, I make of my children the ones who oblige me to sacrifice myself. It's awful. And we are unable to, and it's general. I mean, it's like, and we are unable to see it. You know, we are unable to get in touch with that. Although we say it, we continue. That's the mask. That's the strength of the mask. We simply continue. Although it is out of contact. You know, out of contact in a way, I'm not saying that there are no qualities in it. Like I like my enthusiastic, I fix it side, but I really, contact is not there. Contact is not there.
Thank you.
And I'm, of course, afraid of that boy in me that was not seen and that can be so angry or desperate or afraid, but contact is not there. You know, with those extremes, nobody can get in touch. Nobody. It's just impossible. The only contact is when I bring them to, when I do something and I bring them together. And that is not, I mean, that is a path. I mean, that is never, that's never easy. That's why there are so many, I would say, well, in a way, unhappy people, you know, although with the mask, with their mask, which is different, of course, they obtain a lot or they live like lives, but underneath there is a sort of, they are searching. And most of them, they don't know what they search for. When you ask them, when I ask my groups, what do you look for? The most of them say, like, inner peace, you know, like finding something in myself, you know, like, and it's in a way so difficult. In a way so just bringing those two together, it's like a lifetime job.